Ladies, 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 please hear me out and please listen to me clearly. You do not need to travel with everyone. Be mindful who's in your circle. Be mindful about who you choose to go out of the country with, out of the state with. I don't care where it is. Because there's some tales that we need to dive into so that hopefully this will open your eyes and bring more awareness to being mindful about who you choose to travel with.
All I'm gonna say is you don't know people until you travel with them. So even if you are friends inside the states, they a whole different person when they out the states, baby. On top of that, the real tea is y'all don't even be friends for real. Y'all just be wanting to go somewhere so bad, and y'all don't be wanting to pay that resort fee by yourself or the Airbnb by yourself, that y'all invite literally anybody and a mama. You invite the girl that you cool with. You invite the girl you met at the grocery store. People you don't really know for real.
Christ's love isn't like everybody else's love. It's not like the world's love. The world's love loves you when you do things right or when you do things with them. But as soon as you make a mistake, they take that love away. But what I've experienced with the love of Christ is that it loves first. It loves through wrongdoing. It loves when you shouldn't be loved anymore. It's unconditional. And that's the love that I believe is going to change the world and has changed me.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Micaiah. I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black.
Sasha here. Excuse me? Supermodels do not fly business class. Now, I'm not gonna demand a private jet, but I think Jag could at least spring for first class.
And today I am bringing you all another video. This is an awareness video to be mindful about who you travel with. And what sparked this video is this recent story I seen of these two women who went to Tulum and it did not work out. They ended up getting into an altercation, and that's why I think it's so important to be mindful with. I have a very few amount of people that I travel with, and even then I don't travel with all of my friends. I prefer a more like intimate group, no more than like 4 or 5. A good 4 or 5 people that I like to travel with, because most of the time y'all are on the same page, and it's important to know those people where, okay, we're on the same page when we're traveling, because sometimes y'all are not on the same page. But before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to see more of me. And if you're new, hey, and if you're a returner, I really, truly appreciate the love. If you get the chance, please check out my social media platforms down within the description box, where I display my passion for fashion along with other interests that I have. And for all who are new, you should know I do an array of topics. I am extremely diverse. I do more nerdy topics, I do nostalgic topics, and I do more conscious topics. And I dibble and dabble within vlogs. So if you're interested in any of those facets, I'm your girl. I'll leave you wanting more. So hit that subscribe button. So let's get back into the video. Now listen, you can't prepare for everything, right? Sometimes things can go left and haywire and it doesn't even make any sense, right? However, I just want you all to just be very particular on who you choose to travel with, because one time, right, I had a larger group and we all weren't on the same page. Let's say that. I didn't have like a negative experience, but I realized that when you're not all on the same page, if you want to go off the resort or if you want to do more adventurous things, everyone may not be open to that. So finding that group, finding those people, and now I have my people who are open to doing different things, and we're on the same page when we travel. Like, we just flow. We don't take long to decide what we want to do because we're all on the same page. Like, okay, you want to do that? Okay, I'm down with that. Or, okay, let's do this too. Like, it just flows. You have to find those people that you just flow with naturally on vacation. And it could be some of your closest friends that you just can't travel with. And that's okay. Not everyone you can travel with. This doesn't always have to be a negative thing. It could be we're not on the same page about things, so it's not best for us to travel with. That goes with family, that goes with friends. Y'all can still be cool and still be very close, but you just have to seep out and see, okay, I can travel with them, I can't travel with them. So now I want to show various different stories on TikTok, on some tales that I hope spark some awareness for people when it comes to them traveling, because you have to be so mindful, because there's so many horror stories about this. And we've seen, even with the woman, I don't want to butcher her name, I can't remember her name right now, even when she went out of the country with the group and she never ended up coming back. So you have to be so mindful. I just want this to be more of an awareness, because traveling is fun. It's very like free. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. But one thing about me is I don't travel with everyone. I've had people who've tried to travel with me. I don't travel with everyone, because not everyone has the same mindset as you. Not everyone is on the same page. So let's dive into some of those experiences.
You want to know if that girl is really your friend or not? Just book a girls' trip. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I don't know what it is about crossing a foreign border that just makes people act a fool. I went on holiday with this girl, right? Baby, the men would not let me breathe. I was getting all this attention, and my friend, she hated it, to the point where if we were out and I was getting attention, she would make us leave. Or say a guy was approaching me, she would stand in front of me like a bouncer so they couldn't speak to me. One time I was just having fun dancing with some of the guys that we'd met at the hotel. This girl is like sat in the corner heckling me. Sit down, nobody wants to see you, you can't even dance, trying to make me look stupid in front of the guys. What is that? Here's my thing. Why couldn't you have just shown me that you were a weird ass bitch on UK soil? Why would you wait till I've flown halfway across the world to show me that you're not my friend? One night this guy was speaking to me, so she faked a panic attack. So we had to leave. I wish I was lying. I actually want to know your opinion, because I feel like this is a thing. So many friendships just don't survive the girls trip. Let me know why you think that is. Anyway, girl, you've been chatting with Chisholm. I haven't said that in a long time. Let me know if you've ever had a girls trip disaster, and I'll call you back soon.
You ever heard that saying where going on a group trip with your friends will show you who your real friends are, like how solid your connection really is? Yeah, well, I just had one of those experiences a couple weeks ago with these two girls that I thought were my friends. Turns out they were not. And before the comments ask, why did you get kicked off? Like, what did you do? I'm gonna tell you guys literally like from start to finish. First off, the night before leaving, I had a really, really bad panic attack. And mind you, I don't have panic attacks. Like, I'm an anxious person sometimes, but like this was like a different level. My chest was so heavy, I literally couldn't breathe. I had like a whole mental breakdown before leaving. And I was playing it off that, oh, I'm just nervous because we're gonna be driving really far away. And I was just scared. I was just nervous, whatever. No, that was my intuition telling me, Kayla, do not go on this trip. So whatever, the day that we leave, we drive at least like eight to like 10 hours or so. It took us a while to get to where we needed to be. And we ended up staying at this one house for one night, and then the next day we were gonna leave and then drive another 3 hours to this music festival. So within this period of time, like I'm noticing like weird looks from one of the girls, like I'm playing certain musics, and like I would see that she would be like rolling her eyes or like getting irritated at me. And I kept having these like really negative thoughts and like this overwhelming feeling of like, I feel like I should not be here right now. So the day before we were going to leave, these girls walk into the room and they're like, hey Kayla, do you want to go for a walk? And they wanted to go to like this wooded trail or whatever. Mind you, it wasn't out of the ordinary because we had already talked about like going on a hike and like watching a sunrise and stuff like that. So that wasn't weird to me. So whatever, we get to this trail and I'm noticing like really weird vibes. Like it's like something hasn't been said and it's just like there's like a lot of tension. And then I see this flower and something told me to like start filming this flower and to not stop filming. And as soon as I start filming this flower, I overhear one of them go, she's filming, to the other one. And mind you, like they're like a little ways away, so they like weren't that close to me. And it's just, I overheard it, and I feel like I overheard it for a reason. So I peeped that and like something told me to like keep filming. So I kept filming and like I get them in this video, and like this one girl's like, she has this like really creepy smile on her face, and it's kind of like this underlying tone of like, oh, she doesn't even know what we're about to do to her. Like it's very eerie. So we get to this like middle of this forest preserve, like walking, whatever. And then this one girl goes on with saying, well, Kayla, I kind of want to talk about something and this is mainly for you. But, and then she goes on this whole like tangent. At some point I was really confused at what she was trying to get at. And like, I had to tell her like, okay, can you just like get to the point? Cause like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then we stop and she goes, I want you to leave. I want you to get a plane ride home and I want you gone. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you want me gone? Mind you, like, I've known these girls since middle school. Like, this isn't, like, these aren't, like, random people that I've only known for, like, so and so long. So I'm, like, looking around, like, looking for, like, the cameras. Like, I'm getting pranked, right? Like, what do you mean you want me to leave? And mind you, there's another girl here, but she's not really talking that much. Like, she's just standing there like this, like, staring at me, like, while the other girl's talking. And I'm looking at both of them like I'm I'm confused. So whatever, I'm trying to like de-escalate the situation. I'm like trying to like really get down to why they want me gone so badly, because they were saying these things of like, oh, like we feel like you're gonna ruin the trip, we feel like you're gonna do this, we feel like you're gonna do that, blase blase. Like what are you talking about? Like you know who I am. Like I'm so confused right now. Like there's like a big chunk that's missing here. Like at some point I asked her for her keys and I'm like, hey, like can I just like go back to your car? Like I don't know what the problem is. And like the look on her face when I asked her that, it's like she got pissed off. And at that point, like I start getting like really panicky. I'm like, whoa, like what are you guys doing? Like, I don't understand. And mind you, like, we're in the middle of the woods and like these two girls are just ganging up on me at this point. At some point, I was forced to leave their house and I had to get a plane ride home and I had to get a hotel to stay that night because I couldn't get a plane that day. So whatever, we're back at the house. I'm grabbing all of my stuff. Like, they're not really talking to me. Like, they're acting like, oh, it's whatever. And I'm like on the phone and then my Uber's here and I'm not talking to them either. And I just grab my stuff and then one of them goes, where are you going? And I go, my Uber's here. I'm going to my hotel. Like, where else would I be going? And then she looks at me and she goes, oh, well, I would have brought you. Like, it was just like so spiteful. So then I like leave to go to this Uber and then she tries to give me a hug. And like, mind you, like, it was so, like, she was playing, like she was acting, like this was all an act. Like, she was trying to act like, oh no, like this is the best for everybody, like I promise, like guys, she's gonna ruin it. The other girl was just a follower because she didn't really even say much of anything. So whatever, fast forward, I'm home at this point and they have all of my stuff. I bought food, water that they ended up taking. They took all of that. They had to take my stuff because I brought stuff for camping as well. And mind you, I also paid for this music festival. So I was out $500 something plus some however much on food and water, whatever else. So at some point, her and her little boyfriend stop by my house, drop my stuff off, and then just leave. Like she can't even face me. I don't even know. So I'm looking at my stuff and I realize that some of my stuff is missing. So my mom ends up calling her, asking her like, hey, like we're missing this, we're missing that, like where is it? And one of the things she's like, oh, my sister has it all the way out in like South Carolina or North Carolina, whatever. Like, why does she have it? And it was something that was like mine too. So it's like, you had her using my stuff? Okay. Anyways, she starts harassing me about this necklace that her mom gave me. And I said that I didn't have the necklace. And I'm not lying. I didn't have that necklace. I had originally told her that I think I left it at her grandpa's. But, oh my God. Then I remembered the day that I had to leave the hotel, I had a bag that I couldn't bring with me on the plane and I had to leave it there. And the necklace was in that bag. So like, if you want that necklace back so bad, call Embassy Suites in Tennessee because I don't have it. This is my story, my piece, and that's it.
Okay, so I don't know if this is petty or not, but a few years ago, I decided to go on a girls' trip. Yeah. And I said, okay, to make things easier, like, I'll put everything on my card and you guys just pay me back. So we booked this like almost 2 months in advance. And all I told them was, make sure you pay me back. Like, I don't like to think about money. I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to ask for it. Like, do the right thing and just pay your part, like, before we get there. So it doesn't make anything weird. And so, you know, the day of the trip finally arrives and not one person has paid me back yet. So I was like, okay, maybe when I see them in person, because we're all riding together, that, you know, they'll pay me back. So we get in the car. I don't say anything. Everyone's, you know, turned up, having a good time. Still nothing. I'm like, okay. So we're pulling into the hotel and finally I was like, hey y'all, like no one paid me back yet. Like, it wasn't cheap. Like, just the room was over $2,000. Like, it was a suite. Like, it wasn't cheap. And I prepaid for like dinner reservations and like all the events that we were going to. Like, I paid for everything up front. And so they're like, oh yeah, we just got to go to the ATM. We got you. Like, all of them were on the same page. And I'm like, oh, okay, bet. But that works. That's fine. But I mean, I have Zelle or whatever, but it's whatever. So we get to the hotel, we check in, and still nothing. So we go downstairs, and she, one of the girls is like, you know, I want to go get something to wear for tonight. And so we go to the little mall. It's like everyone's shopping. Victoria's Secret. They're going to H&M. Like, still, no one has paid me my money back. So I was like, all right, bet. I'm not asking again. I'll ask once, and that's it. I'm not asking again. So that night I had reservations to this really, really nice spot. And so everyone gets super dressed up and we go to dinner. And like 20 minutes in, I'm like, hey, I'll be right back. I went back to the hotel room. I changed into some sweatpants. I packed up all my, went down to the front desk and I said, I am checking out of room, blah, blah, blah. And no one's allowed in there because I'm the only name on the reservation. I canceled all the reservations that we had. I canceled all the events that we were going to. I took an Uber to the airport, rented a car, and drove home. I don't know, is that petty?
There's a lot of reasons why adult friendships, particularly adult friendships between women, fall apart. But one thing I've realized, the common denominator amongst a lot of these fractures or breakups are the girls' trips. One of my previous TikToks has my whole little spiel about how I broke up with a friend because of how she was behaving during a girls' trip. And that seemed to ignite a lot of women and said, yeah, most of my friendships or the friendships that I had where someone was behaving like this, it was after spending this significant amount of time with them on the trip. They were just sour, they were bitter, they were just a depressive mood. And I think what's going on is these individuals were wearing a mask. And when we see them out in public, whether it's in dinner or shopping or these little day trips, they can hold the mask up for the day. But they eventually go home and they can take the mask off. When you do these girls' trips, they never have the opportunity to take the mask off and recharge. So that's why we're seeing all this cuckoo crazy on girls' trips, because many times we think it's coming out of nowhere. But the reality is that every once in a while, they take the mask off for a breather. And those are usually the yellow flags or maybe even the red flags, but we give it a pass because we understand people are human and people have their moments. And, you can just give someone some grace. But these trips are the catalyst to people really exposing themselves for what they are. So ladies and gentlemen, but particularly ladies, be careful.
Okay guys, Screaming Lady from Aspen here to give my side of the story. Oh my god. Why the screaming in the streets of Aspen even happened. Why am I exposed on the internet for screaming at somebody in Aspen? It's so embarrassing. Like, I am embarrassed and I feel bad. Like, this is not at all what I had wanted. But, it really was just getting to a point and I was just fed up. It really, even after it, I was like, are you guys happy? You finally got me to crash out because of the nonstop fighting and arguing. So what had happened in the car was we had just gotten off the mountain. We were, at the Ajax drinking Vouv. We were outside. It was like a little snow DJ party. So we were there and we were invited by some guys that we met on the mountain. We were invited to go to a bar. So we're all trying to figure out where the next bar is, and we're all in this car, right? And it's a 3-row seating car. So in the back seat, it's like 2 captain's chairs and then a bench row seat in the back. So I was back there the entire time, which is no problem to me. I was literally, like I said, I was just happy to be there. I knew that it wouldn't be that comfortable being, back there in the car. Me and Christina rode the entire way. I knew that I was going to be back there the entire time because, no shade, I was the smallest person on the group, but I'm still tall. I still have like long legs. So it was definitely not very comfortable, but again, like, it's for the betterment of the group. So I'm not really going to sit here and plead my case. One of the other girls was getting like car sick, and so she couldn't really be in the back. And I just think, whatever, like, that's understandable. If you're going to get car sick, then like, why would we force her to be in the back seat? So the only other logical person to go in the back seat at the time was Michaela, which I don't know why it's a big deal. I really don't, because it wasn't like we were going far. And she was just starting with the whining and saying, well, don't put me back there. I don't want to be back there. Like, why? Like, and it was like, okay, like, I'm not saying anything at this point. I'm just kind of letting her do that, letting her say that. And then I am like, you know what? And then it was getting to a point where she was refusing to sit down in the back seat. I'm just back there waiting for her, refusing. She sat in between the captain's chairs and was just like, I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to sit here. And I was like, Michaela, no, you're not. You're going to come back here and you're going to sit down. You're going to sit down right now. I just was getting so irritated. I'm like, oh my God, like, I've been back here this entire time without complaint because I really have no problem to do it. But like, have some consideration for the rest of the group. And that was really what was so irritating, was the lack of consideration and all that. I'm really not here to say that everything was Michaela's fault and she, is a bad person, because that is not the truth. I actually really like the girl. She's a sweet girl, even after the screaming in Aspen and her chasing me down. Because you hear me in the video, I'm like, go take it up with her. Go talk to Christina about this, because clearly there is a miscommunication about the funds. And the whole time, Michaela truly and sincerely thought that Christina, for some reason, that is kind of unknown to everyone, that she was paying her way, that Tina was paying her way. And that is just not, that just was never the case. That just was never the case. And she was always going to pay her back. And it was, you know, she was covering her for the meantime, but that was just never the case. So that's what you can hear me saying in the thing. And the reason I got irritated was because she was refusing to sit in the back seat. And then she was bringing up the shot thing again and saying, well, you gave Jaden a shot, you gave Jordan a shot. And I was like, it was just whining. She was constantly whining. And I was like, is this a child? Like, she was acting like a literal child. It was something I have never I couldn't take. Like, I snapped. Like, I lost it on her because I was like, you whining about a $9 shot is literally so beyond me. Get your own shot. It does not matter at all. None of this matters. And we are screaming, fighting in the car, arguing over what? None of this even matters. Like, I'm trying to go to the next bar.
I see why people fall out when they go to Miami. So about 3 years ago, I caught myself going on a last minute girls trip to Miami with like 4 other girls. So we already took a road trip down there. Keep in mind, y'all, like, we drove my cars. So we stopping, getting gas and all of this. And I'm stopping. I noticed the first 2 stops, I'm the only person getting out the car to put some money in the tank. The first red flag. So when it was time to go to the 3rd stop, I'm like, are y'all putting any money in? And then keep in mind, I'm the only person freaking driving, y'all. So on top of me driving from Atlanta to Miami, which is a 9-hour road trip, I'm stopping, I'm putting gas in here, and y'all are looking crazy when it's time to stop to put gas in my car. So yeah, I turned around, I asked them, I'm like, are y'all putting gas in here? Now, one of the girls did help me out. She only put 10 in my tank. And I'm just like, but I really wanted to go have a good time, so I didn't get to cuss nobody out just yet. So we finally make it to Miami, y'all. It's beautiful in the yams, okay? And we check inside our hotel, and I had to put down the deposit. When it was time to put down the deposit, everybody around here looking like this, crickets. So I put down the deposit. We go in the room, and we get ready. So we end up going to the beach, y'all. It was a little vibe or whatever at first. And we end up walking down the strip, and we had seen, I forgot what kind of food it is. I think they served like seafood and different things like that. And they were all like, oh, yes, let's go. So we end up walking in the seafood restaurant. So we sitting up here thinking about what's the move, what we're going to do that night and tomorrow. So we had made plans for the next day to go on jet skis. And I'm suggesting it. Everybody's like, yeah, that's a good idea. I definitely think we should do that. What time y'all want to do it? So I'm thinking we about to have a time. So after we get done eating, the bill ends up coming, and the bill comes up to like $350. So that's when it got crazy. So one of the girls was like, oh, hell no, I only got $20. What you mean you only had why would you take Miami with $20? Let's be so for real. So the other girl is looking at her, and she was like, yeah, girl, I'm not gonna lie, my boss didn't even pay me yet. Like, I don't know what he got going on. I'm looking like, oh, hell no. So it was excuse after excuse after excuse as to why they ain't had the money to pay for the damn bill. So one of the girls end up getting up, and she's like, let's just get out of here. And she gets up and she leaves. The other ones leave behind her. And I'm looking around like, oh my God, we about to dine and dash. I never did nothing like that, y'all. But I got up because I'm not finna be stuck paying the bill. So after that, we head back to the hotel. And that's when I decide to get a whole different room. I did everything else by myself on that trip, and I don't even know what the hell they did, because why would y'all even come down here with no money? I'm not finna be stuck with y'all. Crazy. That's crazy. So be mindful who y'all going to trip with.
Story time. I went on my first girls trip, what I thought was a girls trip. This girl that I've known forever was like, hey, pay for your hotel room, pay for your flight, let's go. Cool, let's do it. I go, fly on a plane, get there. She picks me up in some dude's car. She said there was a friend that was going to be there, but he was just going to kind of, you know, not really be around us a whole lot. Just kind of hang out, say hi. No. She used me as an alibi to cheat on her husband. They shared a room. He was there the entire time. I was the third wheel. It was so awkward. I even said something to her about it, and it just went right over her head. She didn't care. I ended up coming home early. And I told her husband, did I do the right thing? Would you have done that? Did I? I would want someone to tell me.
So You know how everybody get up on here telling their stories and stuff. I think it's time that I tell my story about a girls trip that I went on with a group of my friends to Miami. Hold the comments. I already know about Miami and the girls trip. I already know. Me and my friends went up on a girls trip, and one of our friends, well, she's no longer our friend, but one of our friends was in charge of the Airbnb, and she never booked an Airbnb. The money that we sent her was the money that she brought to Miami to spend. So when we flew to Miami and we landed at the Miami International Airport, we did not have nowhere to stay.
Y'all, my sister just sent me the video of the girls trip to Aspen gone wrong. And has that girl actually lost her mind? Like, has she actually lost her freaking mind? So if you haven't seen the video, just a quick little summary. Basically, she was planning a girls trip to Aspen. She invited a group of friends. One of the friends reached out to her privately and was like, hey, I have my birthday trip right after that, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it, but you know, I will let you know based on like how much everything costs, like the Airbnb, whatever. So the girl finds an Airbnb. She puts it in the group chat and says it's going to be $500 a person. Is everybody good with that? This girl did not respond. And so she said that silence is agreement. So she went ahead and booked the Airbnb. In what world is silence agreement? Especially about $500 freaking dollars. So after she books the Airbnb, the girl ends up telling her, I'm not going to be able to do both trips. I cannot go. And she wants the girl to pay half of her portion because she canceled on her. Now, first of all, she said she had to put down a $1,500 deposit on the Airbnb. I'm not putting down the deposit on the Airbnb with just my own funds. Like, everybody has to send me part of their deposit. Like, we do 2 payments, okay? This is when the deposit is due. This is when the remainder is due, okay? Because if we end up having to cancel, everybody's losing their money, not just me. But again, silence is not agreement. Silence is a hell no, I'm not going. Like, $500, I'm not spending $500 on somebody else's behalf without them saying yes, okay? And the video just gave very, like, a mean girl, like, mean-spirited, like, I'm a boss, I got this money, like, her friend is broke. Your friend is not broke. Your friend just said she has another trip already planned, so she didn't know. And then, too, in the video, you're saying how, like, y'all ain't gonna be doing all these excursions and stuff, snowboat billing and, you know, skiing, because I'm not paying $300 for that. So it's like, why are y'all even going? Why are y'all even going if y'all can't even afford to do anything while y'all are there? Like, it's giving that maybe y'all need to push this trip back some, like, instead of trying to play this girl like she's broke. But it's also giving that these are not your friends. Like, some people will hang out with people just to have somebody to hang out with. They'll invite people on a trip just to have somebody to split it with. Because if it were my friend who said, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do both trips, at that point I would tell her, girl, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You know, focus on your birthday trip. I don't want you to try to do both. Like, your birthday trip is more important than just a regular girls trip. Not try to come on the internet and shame my friend because she couldn't afford to do both trips. Like, what? And even if I had the money, because you're acting like you're such a boss, like, oh yeah, I'm a fly out my photographer, blah blah blah, I would say, how much do you have? Like, how much can you afford, and I'll cover the rest of your part. But like, girl, clearly you needed it too if you're asking her to pay half. Like, you're wrong. You are wrong.
So for the Houston trip, me and my girls, I had 2 other friends. I decided we're going to take a trip for my birthday to Houston, and they were going to come with me. It was going to be a girls trip. So when I was planning this trip, one of my friends, she did not have a stable like job at the moment because we were just college girls, and I didn't have one either, honestly. And I knew it was going to be financially difficult for her to swing this. I'm a kind of person where if I want to go on a trip and I really want you to come with me, I will pay for you. It's no kind of issue. And the only reason I'm bringing this up because it's important to this story. We were getting ready to pay for the Airbnb. We purchased the Airbnb first. She was saying she needed time. She didn't know if she was going to be able to pay for it. So I was like, don't worry about it. I'll pay for your portion of the Airbnb. I've done this a lot. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like if it's my birthday, I probably should be paying for the Airbnb anyways. If I'm inviting you on a trip for my birthday to celebrate me, I probably should pay for it anyways. So I have no issues paying for somebody's portion. I don't really care. And then we went to go book flights, and she said she didn't know she was going to have the money right now. It might take her a while. She didn't know she was going to have it. And I was like, I wanted to book the flights together. So me and my other friend got together, and we split her flight between the 2 of us, and we bought her a flight. At this point, she has not paid for anything. All she had to do at this point was bring money to spend, and then just, you know, if she wanted to buy us clothes for the trip or whatever, she would have to do that. So we're all set to go in this flight. We get the day before, I wanted everybody to come over to my house and do a little sleepover so that nobody would be late for the flight. We were going to drive to Atlanta, which is like a 2.5-hour drive, and leave from Atlanta. So I wanted everybody to come over before so that we didn't have any issues. So when it gets time to go to drive, we all pack into my car. Everybody's there. We pack everything together. We were going to take my car to get to Atlanta. So we leave the house. As we're getting down the road, the girl friend A, the one who, I'm gonna call her friend A, the one that we split her costs for the trip. She says, oh, I forgot my wallet at the house. I'm thinking, you forgot your wallet at the house. We're about to get on an airplane. I'm glad she remembered it then, because had she remembered it when we were already 2 hours down the road, there was nothing we were going to be able to do at that point. So we had to drive back to the house to get her wallet. When we get to the house, they go in to get her wallet to find her wallet. And apparently she had left a heater on in my house, a space heater, and burned the side of my couch. I'm already pissed off because had we not turned around, I would have came home to no house. I told somebody we should probably have somebody else on the trip so it'd be funner. So friend A, the one who needed, she invited one of her friends. Her friend hit me up and was like, how much do you want me to pay? She was super nice the whole time. I didn't give her the actual price of what her part of the trip would be. I just told her, give me this and it will be fine, because it's like, I've already paid for it, so no busy. I think I just told her to pay me like $200 something. And she sent that to me and we went on the trip. The first day on the trip, we get there to the Airbnb. I take the master bedroom. There's one other room and there's 2 twin beds in that room. And then there's a pull-out couch. So friend A and the friend that she invited, they go into the second room and they're like, oh, this is our room. This is where we're staying. I'm going to take one bed. You're going to take the other. Now, friend B, the one who helped me pay for the trip, she's like, well, where am I going to stay? And they're like, oh, well, you can stay on the pull-out couch. And she doesn't say it, but you can tell she's like, oh, I don't want to. She said something like, oh, I don't want to sleep on the pull-out couch. She said something about it, and you could tell she was irritated. I didn't get irritated because I feel like if someone made it possible for you to come on this trip and you technically didn't pay for anything, you should be flexible in your sleeping arrangements. Like, you should not be running to go find a bed. You should be the last one paying for a bed, because at this point, everybody has paid something on the Airbnb except for friend A. Yet she's talking about, oh, I'm not sleeping on a couch. I'm sleeping in a bed. It seemed to me a little bit ungrateful, because like, to put friend B on a pull-out couch when she paid for half your flight, it's a little rude, I think. We then, even though we were only going to be there for like 3 days, 2 days or something like that, we go to Walmart to buy food. I don't know why we did that, but we went to Walmart to buy food and we split the food costs. Mind you, friend A is the one that picked out all the groceries. She wanted to get she got some like frozen lasagna, some juices and everything. She picked out all the groceries, but we split it evenly. I literally go in the next day to get juice. She has drunk all the juice. There's no juice yet. I'm pissed off about that, because it's like, we all split the groceries, yet you take it upon yourself to eat all and drink all the damn groceries. That also pissed me off. Now, here's another issue. We were Ubering everywhere. We did not rent a car. We were splitting the cost of the Uber to all the locations that we went to. Friend A was in charge of ordering the Ubers because she already had the Uber app on her phone, and then we would send her the money for it. We were in a car heading somewhere, and she pulls up her phone and she's like looking at her notes app, and she's like, oh, you, friend B, you owe me $7 for this Uber from yesterday. Oh, Niani, you owe me $3 from your portion of the Uber from yesterday. And I'm thinking, you have a notes app talking about $7, $3. I don't think that separately any one of us spent more than $40 on Ubers. So for her to keep a notes app and ask me for $3 after I paid for your portion of the Airbnb and half of your flight, to me was crazy and ungrateful. So that pissed me off. And it's not that we didn't, a lot of the Ubers we sent her the money for. But for the $7, $2, $5, you're talking about $5 when, you know what I'm saying? It just gave me a bad vibe. I was like, and to be on your notes app talking about you owe me $7 to the cents is crazy. She did not pay anything on the gas that it took to get there. And I'm just like, it really irritated my soul badly. So we got into it over that as well. I ended up doing a DoorDash order for liquor because we had ran out of liquor, and they bought the liquor. And the next day I was telling everybody what their portion, because we split it, of the liquor was, and everybody sent me their money except her, although she had liquor. She drank a good portion of the liquor. So I ended up not really talking to her for a week or so after the trip, because I felt like she was sort of ungrateful. Not to mention that every time we would go out to eat, she would never tip. Everybody would tip except her.
The college student that is missing in the Dominican Republic, her friends should have never left her. Okay? I don't care how intoxicated, I don't care how badly she wanted to stay with that man on the beach, they should have never left her. I don't understand how they went to the beach together and then decided to leave without their friends. if you are on a trip, specifically a girl trip, you have to make sure that everybody is accounted for everywhere that you go. I'm the person, when I go on trips, I like to roam away, but my friends always make sure that everyone is accounted for and that we leave that place together. And people keep saying, oh, it's a vacation, they shouldn't be babysitting. It's not even about that. Y'all in a foreign country, you don't know these people who y'all decided to go to the beach with, and you're going to leave your friend there. It doesn't make sense. I don't care. I'm not putting the blame on them, but what I'm saying is they should have never left. That's it. It's crazy. Be more like, have a code when you're traveling with your friends, or don't travel at all.
My heart goes out to different people who've had some very upsetting situations on vacation, because that can also ruin the experience and kind of mess up everything that you intended for it to go. Because on vacation you want to have a free time, you just want to have fun. It's an escape away from reality, and unfortunately in a lot of these tales and a lot of these stories we see that doesn't happen for everyone. So just please be mindful, y'all. So I thank you all for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Please leave your thoughts and perspectives on the matter. Have you had any travel horror stories? Leave that down within the comment section. Is there any advice that you have for people when it comes to traveling? Because I think even a lot of younger people are now exploring the world and seeing new things, and I love that more than our older generations, because I know a lot of my family members don't even really care to travel. So because I know just to social media more people are traveling now, which is beautiful. However, just be mindful. And I want you all to remember that you are loved by the God who created the universe. He made you for such a special purpose. There's no mistake about you. You have been fearfully and wonderfully made. So stand in your greatness. Yes. So I thank you all for sharing this special moment with me, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Stay blessed, everyone.